That night, Aurora went to sleep. The fire burned down low. She caught a chill that spread. Her skin was cold as snow. At dawn they found her, vacant, Aurora's light gone out. Her father wept and pleaded, but there could be no doubt. For all intents and purposes, Aurora was dead. And yet, once upon a time, she awoke in a strange land instead.
Child of Light is a beautiful game. In fact, I'll say it right now. If any of you guys are looking for something that really shows off the power of any of the modern day platforms, from the PlayStation 3 to the Xbox One and Wii U, this is a game you need to play. It features some of the liveliest settings I've seen in years, and the gameplay, while nostalgic, is extremely balanced and fun to play. And I think that's like the most important thing with a modern day RPG. It also feels extremely rewarding when you time your attacks correctly and prevent a boss from attacking for pretty much the entire encounter. That's just awesome. And that sort of jives in to the two very distinct elements that really stand out in Child of Light, with the first being the incredible battle system. What makes it so unique is that it combines real-time elements and classic turn-based commands. Take a look at the bottom of the screen. You see that action bar there? Well, that shows icons for all the characters on the screen. Typically there's going to be 2 icons for your 2 hero characters and 3 for the enemies. But for the footage you're seeing here, I really only wanted to show you the beginning of the game because I don't want to spoil anything with the environments and whatnot. On the right side of the action bar is that red portion, which is the command entry or cast build-up portion. The second your character's icon hits that very first left portion of the red section, you're given your turn to enter your command. From there, your character sort of prepares to attack, and they'll finally initiate their attack once your icon has reached the very end of the meter. Now, what makes it so unique is that if they're attacked before their icon reaches the end of that meter, it basically acts like an interrupt and they're sort of blasted back to the beginning of the bar, and basically making them lose a turn. And this is really unique because it adds a really deep element of strategy to the battles, because you're always thinking like 2 turns ahead to see if you can knock enemies out of combat. And if you get good at the system, you really can, and it includes bosses as well. Things get even more interesting when you include Igniculus, who is controlled with the right analog stick, or a real-life co-op partner if you so desire. He can fly around the screen, and he can either heal some of your allies or slow down enemies, on top of picking up health and mana orbs from the environment. He's a really useful character who also helps a lot with the puzzle-solving element of the game. Another fantastic element is the lush and beautiful graphics. It goes along with the soundtrack too, which is just amazing. Imagine a hand-painted piece of art coming to life, and that's what you get here. And the melodies from the soundtrack are just amazing. They complement the lush visuals just superbly well. From the backdrops to the enemy and level designs, everything here has been meticulously pieced together in such a way that you always feel like you're playing within a child's fairy tale book that's come to life. It's just something else. The story is also quite unexpected, as it features a young girl named Aurora who's trying to save her father, and not the other way around. How many times have you seen a story like that? Not too often, if I do say so myself. Each cast member you meet strikes off on their own instead of following the archaic archetypes from RPGs of old, and that makes them much more relatable because you're like, oh wow, this is something new and unique. There's also an incredible sense of style from not only the visual presentation, but also the way that everyone has this sort of Shakespearean dialogue feel to them, and I find that really helps bring all these different elements together in that sort of fairy tale sort of book sort of feeling that this game gives off. There's also a very simple inventory system that allows you to get to your potions and special gems. Now these gems are really unique because there's actually a very simple alchemy system here where you can combine gems which, when attached to your weapons, defense, or overall stats, give you really powerful bonuses. There's also a really unique skill level up tree which works sort of like you've seen in many other RPGs, where you typically have 3 branches you can follow. One is geared more towards melee attacks, one towards magic, and one towards overall stat bonuses. But no matter what you do, these sort of skills that you'll unlock always make you feel more and more powerful. Child of Light is just an overall incredible RPG that I had no idea was going to turn out this amazingly well. It's around a 12-hour game, and yes, it's a digital-only release, but don't let that scare you off. This is a game you absolutely need to try if you're a fan of old-school RPGs, or just RPGs in general, or hell, even if you're looking for something just a bit different, give Child of Light a chance. It really is a fantastic game. For the full written review, as always, hit up projectcoe.com.
Once the sun shone upon a land of sequined valleys and peaks of white, and at night ruined castles glowed with alabaster light. From the stars in the crescent moon, a queen of light ruled this rambling place. Each night she walked the palace alone, her luminosity dawn's own face. Until one night there was no trace. The queen had vanished, and with her the light. Dark resided in its place. The usurper, Umbra, hid from sight. She sent her daughters in her stead. The sun, the stars, and the crescent moon, they pilfered from the sky, extinguished them with the monsoon. Then Umbra's dark creatures conquered the land. Our lives soon snuffed out by a wave of her hand. Do